Swear right now.
Hey.
Yeah. This is gonna drive me.
Yeah, we need to get more aligned.
Yeah. Okay.
The photography and me like straight lines.
Yeah. How are we doing? Are we good? Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, listen. Okay. We'll give you just a second.
Sorry.
Go grab your sandwich or your swig.
Your swig.
Yay! Cheers.
Swig.
Swig.
Cheers.
Swig.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. We won't ever tell what's in your swig.
That's a good swig.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The top secret.
Very good swig. Hey, so listen. Charlotte's in for a heat wave.
Oh gosh, yes.
I'm going to an outdoor wedding on Sunday.
Oh.
So we just hope for low humidity. But listen, thank you for joining in. And once again, it's 12 o'clock. It's Thursday, and it's become, I think, my favorite day of the week. And I'm so happy to spend time with you. So this is my version of Ladies Who Lunch, because those of us that are working outside the home or too busy to have lunch, this is how I do lunch on Thursdays. And it's a great little, 15-minute therapy session is what I want to call it. So I hope you'll feel inspired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to learn something today.
Because I have a cheesy sense of humor, you're offering people some sound bites.
Sound bites. Exactly. And today, guess who I have today? Oh my gosh. I have my new friend, Mai-Lis. And you know what? We decided that her name ties in with real estate.
It does.
Mai-Lis. Mai-Lis. So you'll always remember
licensed.
Yes, she is a realtor, and we're going to convert her to come over on our side. But thank you for joining me.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to be here. This is so much fun.
I know.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
I feel very honored to be here.
Thank you. All right, and so the purpose is to talk to people, because I want you to know that we are all here to do our thing, whatever that thing is. And you don't have to be curing a disease or anything like that. What we do on a daily basis can inspire and bring hope and give people positivity and inspiration, because we're here to make a difference.
Right? I love that. Yeah, because so often we compare ourselves to others and you go, oh my gosh, that person knows how to, knows how to build a rocket and fly to the moon.
Yeah.
But we all have our roles in life.
Mm-hmm.
And so each one of us serves a purpose in our own unique way. So that's why I truly believe comparison is a thief of joy.
Oh, I love that. Mai-Lis and I were just talking before we went live about how social media has become such a positive vehicle that it's almost a little false hope, and how we don't want people to feel like just because things are so positive on social media, that necessarily means that everybody's life is rosy and there's no problems, because every day is a good day to start from scratch. So that's just in everything and how you see it. So I met Mai-Lis through the No Tribe that I've talked to y'all about. It's a great women's group here in Charlotte. And we sat beside each other at an event at WeWork and had a nice time. And so we asked her to come to share a little bit about what she's doing in her life and why she started People of Charlotte. And you all can find her on social media. It's a wonderful platform. And what she's doing with that and raising her kiddos and getting through life.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, thanks for having me. Yeah. So you might have heard of People of Charlotte, peopleofclt.com. It's a storytelling platform that I started 3 years ago. And, we just kind of hear that inner voice. It says, let's do this. It's something you've thought about for a while. And then you go, okay, I'm just going to do this. Let's just do it. And so my husband and I had talked about it. We're always curious about people and love meeting new people and all walks of life. Like, for instance, like this guy, Jim, who owned a trout farm up in your Sparta.
Oh, that's where my mother-in-law's from.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, we have a little cabin up in West Jefferson, so we go around that area. And anyway, like hearing stories from someone like Jim who manages a trout farm, a few ponds in the mountains, like just warms my heart. I love it because he's found his place in the world and his peace, and it was called Peaceful Valley. He has since sold it, but anyway, so we would talk about stories and how people would get to where they are and why they're doing what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And I recognize when you really listen to somebody, they share so much, and you always walk away learning something.
I know.
Or finding more joy in your day than you had before, or your eyes are open to something else that you like you just didn't know about. So anyway, so my husband went away for a week. I remember he traveled for a week, and I stayed up like all week building this website and said, I'm just going to do it. And he came back and I said, guess what? It's up.
You did it yourself?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. And I love a challenge, and it's kind of a problem of mine. I love learning new skill sets. And
are you looking for another job? We're hiring.
My husband's always like, how many jobs do you have right now?
You can do one more. Come on.
This is a dare because I like dares. Do I drop my resume off at the front?
Yeah, no resume needed. Just come on.
I'll give you my LinkedIn profile. But I think it's fun to challenge yourself. And I think that's why I like learning other people's stories. Like I am so impressed with Henderson Properties and what you and your husband have built up. And it's just, a lot of people just don't do what their heart tells them to do, or what their talents or their talents lie, or where they find their flow. I think of that as your flow.
Why do you think that is?
Fear.
I feel the same way. Yeah.
Fear. I think because if you look at it like as a circle, like we all know in our hearts, like what we're good at and where we want to be. But outside that immediate place of knowing, the next circle around that is fear. And that is the biggest roadblock to get through. And outside of that fear is where the joy and excitement and fulfillment comes. But we're afraid to get there because we're like, well, what if we get there and realize we're not as good as we thought we would be, or we fail, or,
yes,
and so that's why I like storytelling too, because someone in that position could go, oh my gosh, they did it. They broke through that fear, that wall of fear. I can do it too.
And it is scary. Like if you're going to try something new, and we've talked about that in weeks past, whatever that something new is for you, you can do it, right? I mean, you really can. You don't have to. We started our business with 6 months of savings.
Yeah, it's scary too.
No loan. You don't have to have a lot of money. You have to have time, and you have to have a commitment and a want to. And I think that is, the first step into going after something that you want and finishing it, right? So many people don't see it through to completion.
Well, you quit too soon because you're like already on your knees. You've hit so many walls, met so much adversity. But those moments of adversity are huge moments of learning.
They are.
So you're actually empowered by them, maybe not immediately.
Right.
Like I had a clothing line, and I knew nothing about manufacturing and design, the whole world, right? So completely self-taught. Like I said, I'm a glutton for punishment. I literally fell to my knees one day and just sobbed because I had spent thousands of dollars on samples, and they all came in and they were a wreck and a mess. And at that moment I said, I can't do this anymore. But then I thought, but I've come so far.
Right.
I need to continue and push forward.
And just to see, because the hardest moments of your journey and your life are the moments that I think you come out of and you think, oh my gosh, I did that. Like I survived.
Yeah.
And look where I am now, because when you get over one hurdle, then, it gives you momentum to get to the next, because there will be hurdles. There will be a lot of hurdles.
Yeah.
We've had a solid month of May with hurdles in our business. But that's okay, because like I just talked to somebody, one of our supervisors, and I said, you know what? Business, just like life, ebbs and flows.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to appreciate the times when it's smooth, and then when it gets a little rocky, we just ride the wave and hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. And unless you're living under a rock, you're going to experience adversity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My son asked, he's almost 16, and he asked the other day at the dinner table, he said, so is life easier in high school, or is it easier in college, or is it easier when you get to the working world? Because there's so many decisions to make, but it changes a lot. So where is life the easiest, and where's life the hardest? And I said, it's kind of like raising a child. I said, when you were born, there was a set of challenges that went away when you were 2, and then with 2, there was a new set of challenges that went away when you were 5, and so on. And I said, and as a teenager, thank goodness there's not the typical teenage challenges in our household. But I said, every life just changes and evolves, and those challenges just change and evolve with you.
They do.
Yeah. And so you have to expect them. But
that's right.
It's just, life is not easy.
That's right. And I think when you expect it, That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because when you expect it, I think we froze up here on Facebook. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sorry. I think when you expect that, though, it does give you an element of grace, you know, because
I love that word.
because we shouldn't expect to be perfect. And I think sometimes that we are, and especially those of us that are held in a leadership position, you know, everybody wants to think, oh, you know, life is good for her, or, you know, because of where you live or the car you drive, people think, you know, oh, they must be doing well. And it's,
but it's, you know, everyone's, when it comes down to it, we're all kind of living parallel lives, no matter where we are in a way. Like, we all have challenges, and we all, you know, want to feel loved and included and secure. So we all experience the same emotions every single day. But do you do anything here at Henderson Properties to kind of like to create that sense of community here and lift? And
I'm so glad you asked. Okay, and just on a side note, everybody, the guests that we have, we don't ever, there's no script and there's no rehearsal. It's just organic.
Yeah, it's all off the cuff. I do too.
You know what? We actually do. We have really tried in the last 3 or 4 years, and when everything with my personal self started to evolve, we started to kind of rebrand our culture and make it, there's no such thing as work-life balance. We can try to find it.
Yes,
and that's,
I agree.
You know, that's a given. Just try. But what we've tried to do is cultivate an atmosphere of work and family. Give you an example. We had our quarterly happy hour, Henderson happy hour, on Tuesday night. We stopped work at 5:15 instead of 5:30. We went outside to the patio for 1 hour. We had non-office conversation.
That's great too.
We had adult beverages, and we had food. And at 6:30, we wrapped it all up and said, "Have a good night." And just try to get outside of the office, you know, office environment, and see each other as people. As people. The other thing that we do is at our monthly staff meetings, we recognize positivity, and we award that, and we celebrate birthdays. We have a birthday bucket. So if it's your birthday that month, you get to pick a little gift card out of the birthday bucket.
Little things like that go a long way.
Yeah, little things. Little things. But, you know, for me, one of the challenges that we struggle with is always, we want to constantly try to please everybody and meet everybody's expectation. And that for me is an ongoing challenge, because for those of us that on the Enneagram that are a 2, as an helper, that is a very real challenge. But okay, before we go, let me ask you this. What do you find is your biggest challenge as a mom?
I just hope that I am constantly giving them enough foundational knowledge to steer them in the right direction. Like, I don't want to control their lives. I want them to find their happiness where they feel like they fit in the world. Like, they can be anywhere from a rocket scientist to a plumber to whatever, right? We were talking about before. But I always say, oh my gosh, I hope I'm giving them enough tools to go forward in life and enough knowledge. So as part of storytelling, like, that's how I've raised my kids. Like, I share stories with them through storytelling, because I find it resonates more. So I give
it real.
Yeah, I give them examples of other people, myself. You know, I don't tell them everything, but sometimes
not yet.
And places are changed.
Not yet.
That was my friend who did that, but I would never do that.
But at some point, I think they should have a few stories that makes you real.
I do. Yeah, there's just some that have, you know, edits in them.
When they started saying that their dad was tired and, you know, a nerd and a bookworm, I was like, it's time for Dad to tell some stories. No,
let's make them more real.
Yeah, let's make them more real.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so tell us about People of Charlotte. So you want me to come on, be People of Charlotte?
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. I was going to ask you that today.
I would love
you
to.
Stole my line.
Tell everybody about that. Like,
so people.
Why did you start it?
Again, it's just like I like good news. I like positive news, and not that all the stories on People of Charlotte are necessarily all like positive, but there are people who have, well, they are, because people who have overcome adversity. So that's on there too. But it's also like, there's, it talks about stories about people in a certain profession, like how did you get there? Why do you like it? So it's educational in that way and inspirational. Sometimes there's stories about, nonprofit world or someone who's trying to improve a skill set. But I just love community stories. I think it weaves us together more, and it makes us, appreciate one another more and see each other more. And I think a strong community can move mountains.
I do too. Okay, and don't y'all love all this positivity? Like, it's so much better than the news.
Yeah, I know. Don't ask me anything from the news because I might show my ignorance.
I'm not even watching Netflix. I'm like, I can't do it. I know. I got to find something. So this is why I do the Thursday. Yeah. So if you're like Mai-Lis and myself, we're just tired of all that. So y'all join us on Thursday. Okay, what's your favorite thing about Charlotte?
I would say I just love the vibe in Charlotte. I think everyone here is so kind. I moved here 20 years ago, and that's what floored me when I first got here. I thought, gosh, are they talking to me? Like, they said hi to me? Like, or is it someone behind me? Like, everyone here is just so nice and genuine. And Charlotte taught me to open up more and become more friendly and engaging. Because, I grew up in New York and then upstate New York, and so we're kind of like, we didn't hug. Not as much.
Okay, you said that, not me.
It might have changed now because that was 20 years ago. But I just love how friendly Charlotte is, and I love how the city is progressing and becoming a smart city. I have some friends in sustainability, and I like what's on the horizon. And there's just a lot of great opportunity here. I'd have to say that I do miss New York summers, but I wouldn't trade off the summers for the winters.
Oh my goodness, I know, it's getting ready to be so hot. Okay, everybody. Go follow Mai-Lis at
peopleofclt.com or at peopleofclt.
Okay, and she's on Instagram as well. And we want you to be uplifted and inspired. And we hope that you'll come back next Thursday. I'll be back, and I'll have Big Phil with me. I was gonna say Big Daddy, but I don't know if y'all want him to be called that or not. But we're gonna get him to loosen up and have some fun and give you some inspiration too about our lives and what we've got going on. So thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. I love this. You're doing some great work. I love it. And we'll talk about it more in upcoming People of Charlotte profile.
Yes, we will.
Story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. Stay cool. Bye. Yay.